Hello, everybody, and welcome to listen. We were just spent the off-screen time talking about Neil deGrasse Tyson, so
And alligators.
so we're all a little sexually charged at the moment, but we'll work through it. We'll work through it as we
We can
start
give
the
you and
session.
Ollie a moment if you need, Scott.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
I know you didn't have last week, but
We didn't have last week. But then we had a great
but
time
Ollie,
after you guys
we
on
had
my
last
show,
night.
So honestly, I
I'm
would-
sure
We
you
had
did.
last night.
Yeah. Scott knows me too well at this point. Sometimes I forget, and he just says something as like, oh, fuck, he does know me.
It's been almost a year. Our anniversary is coming up, Ollie. Is that scary?
I don't know it.
Neither do I, but I'm sure if we checked in Skype and scrolled all the way up.
I'm not.
No, I'll check emails. Hey, do you want to do my avatar
That's true.
for
It
me?
could actually be. Yeah.
I'm
What
sure
are
it's
you?
coming up soon.
It is coming up soon. I was actually thinking about it yesterday.
Are you the kind
that's
of
not
person
the only
that...
thing that's going to be coming up.
Hey. Anniversaries are good for like one thing, right?
So are you like a chocolates or flowers? You seem like you
I'm
like the idea
definitely-
of flowers, but you prefer the chocolates.
There you go. Exactly. You didn't need to ask.
Yeah. Damn it. How about we just go down the middle? I'll order you some
Actually-
edible arrangements. They'll be healthy.
Have a flower on that windowsill,
Yeah.
and it bloomed, and the flower went so high that it fell over and snapped.
Oh, that's sad.
You have to brace it.
No.
I'm not gonna. It's a plant. If it isn't gonna survive on its own, it's not gonna survive.
I feel like no. I feel like
Dying of sadness.
this is more or less Ollie, like in a nutshell. Like, look at this beautiful little seed and how it blossoms into a flower, and as it reaches up towards the stars, it realizes, fuck it.
The plant's still alive. It was pretty fun.
All right.
It's alive, it's just collapsed emotionally.
Yeah, still alive.
It's so done right now.
Like the roots are still growing in, just letting out this black ichor now. So, all right, Mass Effect. Let's sum up last week pretty quickly. So last
Bang,
time,
bang, bang! Get to cover! Ah!
yeah, actually, that's not bad.
There you go.
That was pretty good.
Accurate.
You guys finished the travel to the big broken Batarian vessel. When you got there, or when you got within range that you could see it, you saw it was cracked into two pieces. They were both kind of hoisted up in ways where the broken side was exposed upwards towards the sky to 1 degree or another. It's a very large vessel. And because of the way that it hit the ground and dragged on, there's a gap between the two of them. I believe is about 2 kilometers long. Gap between both broken sides. You decided to approach. So you had checked that one side had power, the other side didn't. You saw people moving around the side that had power. You decided to approach the side that didn't first to kind of like secure one area before you move on to the next one. Erin moved in quick and low with 2 others. Only her and 1 other infiltrated the place. The other one joined them later on. You guys had your own path, got attacked by a fighter overhead. Rick was able to get a nasty shot to send the fighter careening off to the side like a TIE fighter screaming and twirling away. It came back. Killed a whole bunch of Batarians, lost a bunch of people in your crew. Where it stands right now is one of the NPCs is missing one of his legs and is sitting on the floor level of the part of the vessel that you took over. Over in that same region, but on the top level, is Icarus in Overwatch mode with his sniper rifle, watching a kilometer and a half away, overwatching to where Constantinia is. She's kind of held up, she's bouncing the signal over to the crew so that Icarus can just decrypt it and share it with the rest of you. She's also specifically trying to find leaders, like anybody that seems like they might be a higher profile target than some random schmo with a gun. The rest of the crew, which was Carmine and Sid, with the remaining Rebel Force person, the 3 of you went into the hangar to try to see if you could find a working fighter to try to take out that fighter. Unfortunately, you couldn't find it. Sid's found a couple of interesting things. You're able to fix up almost like a sled and get this like really fast-moving ground hover vehicle here. You retrofitted it so instead of being used for like a space small trucker, it's like really fast on the ground but doesn't have a ton of maneuverability. That's where we stand. So, Sorry, I was just kind of absorbing it myself. I'm sure Ollie had to absorb it too. We're going to... you guys literally just came back from all that work that had to do with the sled, and you're supposed to be sleeping. Try to catch like 4 hours or something so you weren't completely useless from exhaustion. Is that exactly everybody's... So Constantini had already slept some overnight with Ikelis on Overwatch. Is everybody else... The other two, are you gaining sleep, or did you want to do something else instead?
I'm definitely napping.
Okay, good.
I think Sid has an idea.
Okay. Reminder to you, Ollie, Sid got shot really badly. Critical hit for like 36 damage. Theoretically could have killed her, but we had Carmine was able to run down and get there just in time and save her. If she takes so much as 1 point of lethal damage.
Yep.
Okay.
So why am I with them or am I not with them?
You are.
I would want to be with them.
Correct. You are on the same vessel as them, over in the same part of the vessel, which is like the middle portion of the big ship that cracked in half. So it's like the exposed part. The only difference is you were on the top floor, so you can be in Overwatch watching her. They're down below, but you have open comms between each other. So,
I would come down to them then when they're asleep.
Of course.
Or whatever they're doing. I'd try and catch up with them.
Absolutely, of course. So obviously you just kind of communicate that to Constantinia, like, be safe.
Good luck.
Yeah. And make your way down to Sid and Carmine. So,
honestly, I tell her to come back too. Why is she?
She's a kilometer and a half out.
Why?
Because she was trying to get close to the next ship, so in case. Huh?
You agreed with it at the time.
Yeah.
I stroked that there was some kind of EMP because everything Scott was doing as my character was wrong.
Alright, I'm keeping an eye on the ships that are going back and forth and making sure they don't come too close to you guys. Is what
That's a good. See, that's a good reason.
There was a reason
but
for
it's
it.
still not.
Listen, after only one session, I don't know enough about the character to appropriately make those decisions.
So you should have just had him NPC.
I was trying my
He was
best to
NPC,
keep him out of danger.
but then combat started. He could have just like burp 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 burp.
Basically,
combat character.
I'm setting up a perimeter, like for you guys, so we know what's going on in the area.
Of course, and she's bouncing
I'd
the signal.
also tell you to come back though. You cannot, but I will
why?
be telling you to come back.
I would ask why.
We're more efficient together.
What is more efficient about going backwards on our objective?
And we'll catch up with
you said it now.
Wait
Bombard her with the math.
But what are you doing right now that requires you to be that far behind?
I don't know! In character, I have no idea. I'm saying all of this out of character, because I don't even know why we're separate at all, and I don't get it, I don't believe it.
She's scouting.
But that would be my response.
I get it, she's scouting.
Why am I going
I'm
backwards?
saying either come back or wait there and we'll join you later.
I don't understand humans. I don't understand robots.
There's
Why are you
no
guys going
reason
backwards?
On your own. If you're scouting, scout closer.
No.
So that we can help you if something bad happens.
But then you lose the signal. You wouldn't be able to.
I got information. I was able to get close enough to get like their signal of communication. So we have like a hard line in there.
Tomorrow.
What?
Go to you tomorrow when they're slept.
Oh, that's fine. They're only going to sleep for a few more hours. She's already been out there for like 18 hours.
I've been there all night.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So why would I come back?
Wait, you wait there and we come to you.
Yes, that.
That.
Oh, Ollie, I don't think anybody got that off you, Ollie. All right, so let's.
While saying completely contradictory things.
I offered two options.
Ollie, you go to join the other two down below. You have the two NPCs, the remaining rebel guy, because the other one died while fighting alongside Constantinia, and the remaining person from the city who's missing one of his legs. So you go down to the other two, and Sid, who's banged up. Carmine's sexy. So you go downstairs to join them. This is after they had fallen asleep?
Sid's awake.
Okay.
I assume they wouldn't sleep at the same time.
Probably working on something in the hangar, like putting something on the big sled.
So let's say when you go downstairs to check things out, you find Carmine, the guy missing the leg, and the other one lying there on the ground sleeping because, they have you guys watching over them, so not that concerned. but Sid is not there. Of course, you have open comms to her.
I don't care.
Okay, awesome. Sid, what are you doing?
Sid is getting the power converter alone onto the power sled.
Unfortunately,
Nothing by yourself.
Yeah, like they are trying to do it by themselves and just struggling because
I was gonna say, why aren't they sleeping on the sled? This is why you stole it. I guess I'd ask where that is.
where what?
the Homedy Schnick is down in the hangar. I can't do Russian accents, but I can try.
Continue. I don't understand, or cannot. It cannot brain me right now. I'm trying. I just don't.
You'll get it. So, Frank, you the issue is, like I said last week, it's too heavy, too much for you to get on there by yourself. This is a massive piece of equipment. You'd have to use extraction devices around. You have to find those first. You could theoretically just have people assist you, and that make things a lot easier. But you're pulling a heavy piece of equipment out of a ship.
Oh, I know. That's why I said, like, they're definitely struggling with it, probably not getting anywhere with it. So if Icarus pings her on comms, Sid's going to ask if Icarus can come down to the hangar.
Why are you not with your team?
She just doesn't really respond to
Return
that.
to the team.
Why don't you
Return
just
to mission parameters.
you come down here?
Literally.
I need some help down here.
I am watching the team return to the team, or you will not be watched. You are in dangerous enemy territory. You are without your team. You are at risk of further injury.
I mean, technically, we're all in enemy territory.
There is no response. You're trying to joke to a robot.
Look, I have something that can get us out of here and protect the team. So you can watch the team, or...
I will continue watching the team.
Okay.
It's funny. It sounds like Icarus just wants like a group hug. He's like, "Why'd you leave?"
I weirdly enough want the team to stay together in one place.
It's like, guys, we're like in a super dangerous area. Let's all just bring it in.
Yeah,
No.
what a weird idea.
No? Okay, so Sid,
Now is the time.
It's like 2 rooms over.
Icarus
I
refuses
don't know
to.
that. I don't
well,
know it's 2 rooms over.
It's not two. It's a huge ship.
Okay.
Yeah, we're in
I-
a giant like.
Icarus
Cruiser
refuses
thing,
to join you. Do you go back because it's going to be rather difficult? Do you try to push on? Again, remember you are very injured.
Probably a stitch.
Yeah, no, Sid is going to struggle with it for like 5 more minutes and then just give up on it.
Yep.
Because they can't move it. They're not cracks.
Yeah. No, they're not. I mean, I don't know what cracks is. That doesn't sound like a proper
Sounds
noun.
repulsive.
I mean, maybe those are the things you don't step on. Otherwise, your mom. You know what I'm talking about?
Might break her back.
Yeah, but I don't know what cracks is. So you make your way back to. You actually rejoin Icarus.
Yeah.
Okay. So you rejoin Icarus. Icarus, you say anything?
Oh look, you brought back our property. Referring to the sled, which I assume is the one we brought here.
No.
No.
Why is
This
it
is
not
one
the
that
one
she
we...
made.
Did we break the one we brought here? Why do we have a different one now?
The
Well,
one
The
that
one
we
we
brought
took
here.
is an old piece of trash, and it couldn't take us all the way.
Oh,
had to
okay, we
rectify it.
upgraded. Yes,
This
that's
is-
all I
This
needed to
little
know.
sled,
This
we
is a
found it here, and we fixed it up.
a smaller, faster one with like no
This is us.
maneuverability.
This is
Same
ours.
thing, better.
Sure. Yes.
Okay.
Kinda.
And
It's
the
like
the
a
old
car
one's still
for-
coming.
Then
They're
I
just
will say
recharging.
our stolen property.
Yeah. There you go. Nice.
Requisitioned.
Yeah.
Acquisitions.
Sid, do you want to spend the night? Do you actually rest up a little?
Yeah.
Okay.
Since no one's gonna help get the power converter onto the sled.
Cool.
You haven't
So
asked
I mean,
properly.
you never asked about it.
that's okay. Wait until you guys all wake up. We'll
I
revisit
will
this.
also like link myself to this sled and make it so no one else can move it.
Ooh. You want to put on like a lockdown?
Yeah.
Do me a favor, roll me a decryption check to set up like a...
Sure.
Do I notice this?
I mean,
You're
you wouldn't
sleeping.
see anything.
There are no elves in this
all that
campaign.
maybe would happen is I put a hand on it.
Yeah.
It's all wireless, baby.
You just made me remember the Muffin song.
Oh,
I totally want to hear that again.
You do like that a lot.
Do you know the
It
Muffin
makes
Man?
me happy.
Genuine, dedicated banger.
Awesome. So you were able to put in like a security feature. Technically, somebody could hack it if they wanted to, but
Yeah, I'm not making it foolproof.
But you make it so it's not like somebody could just press a button and
Someone
it goes.
could just
Of course.
leave.
Okay, so while they're sleeping and Icarus is in Overwatch, probably at some point in time, taking out his power cell and taking the other one that he brought with him and making sure he's good to go. Because you imagine when you unplug your power cell, there's like a period of time where you're like, I have 1 hour of remaining power.
Yeah, there's a little bit. It all soaks in. Or it's just that one gif from Adventure Time where BMO takes out her batteries and then just falls onto the extra set.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
It just all works.
So, anyways, moving on. So, Constantinia, since you're out there, you have a specific task that you're trying to do. Could you do me a favor? I have to stop being a dummy and actually look at a character sheet. Oh, not that character sheet. This character sheet. There we are. Could you roll for me, please? A command or administrator, wisdom or intelligence.
Administrator. Go on. No!
Yay!
I wanted
That's
to
a
see the
pretty
first
good roll.
administrator role I think ever of the 3 seasons.
I've actually made one last session because I did so well on my command check.
Yep. So,
Turns out I know Batarian stuff.
hey, he knows that Batarian stuff. So, you actually are listening to the code, the scramble of stuff coming in, and it's making its way over to Icarus, who's like hacking through it, decrypting the code, and sending it back to you so you can listen to the Batarian chatter. And you actually come to realize there is a change of tone and direction in everything that's going on, like coming through the radio. So it's not like it's not like the is a new voice. It's not like there's specific orders that are very obvious. It's just kind of like you realize there's a subtle change in tone for how things are being handled.
Is it more aggressive or less aggressive?
Not tone and voice in the way that people are being told to do stuff. It actually sounds more aggressive. But you know that for Batarians, this is a command is more present. So with your experience in the military with the Taurians, you know that like when you receive orders from yonder versus like my CO is right next to me, it's a very different type of chain. Well, you can tell somebody's definitely right here giving commands. Obviously, you can identify where they are, but you know they're here.
I will relay that information back. I will say that before they were probably getting their information from off-world, or and otherwise like further off base if there is one here. Now they are getting orders from the immediate area.
I assume you relay that once we're actually awake.
Yeah. It's kind of like one of those things where she's like, you guys are all saying your pleasantries and waking up, and Constantine, you're alive, yeah, and like kind of like finishing, cracking the signal. It says it to you a little after you guys get up. Convenience of a TTRPG.
It's always like a TV show where everything is just the right time.
The right time. The bad touch, though.
Convenience.
So, go ahead, she says that to you guys.
Cool. That means there's more important people to kill now.
More importantly, it means they are disconnected, which means they will not be receiving backup.
But they might have received backup with the commanding person. So our initial estimate of up to 12 hostiles might not be accurate anymore.
Did I notice an increase of ships heading towards that area, Scott?
No, it still is consistently that one fighter that's flying overhead, which you're going to have you roll a check for me on that one in a second, but it's consistently that one fighter flying overhead. It's just the sleds that they're using to transport stuff to this thing, that actually, since you guys did the attack, it decreased for a while and just recently started back up again.
So what do you want me to roll?
For that, it's going to be lore, intelligence. Yeah, so you don't gain any extra information from that ship.
I would just let them know that there was a decrease in the number of sleds, and now the numbers have increased back to normal.
Interesting.
To be
they
honest.
could possibly assume that we have left the area, which is not unreasonable given the calmness that has fallen over the area. Or they could just not give it to us. They are Batarians, after all.
You can say many things about Batarians, but I don't think not caring is one of them.
Would Sid know if they run night ops or not? Or if they stay active only during the daytime?
Actually, it's a really good question, Frank. You know that they are far more comfortable at night for several reasons. One of them being it's a lot cooler at night, which is more comfortable for them. But their eyes and whatnot, their eyes are sensitive. Their sense of smell and all that stuff is very sensitive, so they can actually navigate darkness pretty well. The glaring sunlight of the daytime is somewhat blinding to them. But again, remember, they have 4 sensitive eyes. So it actually makes it a little bit more difficult for them to see things. Nighttime, they are generally more active. However, they were super low in activity overnight, and their activity's picking back up now.
Yeah, Sid's gonna point that out to everyone, just be like, they're usually more active when the sun is down, but my Russian accent needs a lot of work.
Yes.
Your voice has changed considerably since first we met.
Yeah, when did Sid gain an accent?
Experiencing an anomaly.
Distress.
When did Sid gain an accent? Like, what's going on with that?
When people couldn't tell when I was talking versus Sid.
Sid had a voice
We call that-
before that wasn't Russian.
We
Or
call
am I
that
imagining
bad
it?
roleplay. That's how we
I think
call
you're
that.
imagining that.
I swear. No, I guess I'm imagining it.
If not, I just don't remember.
Maybe I'm just very good at separating fantasy from reality.
But
My dwarven friend.
let's see. Yeah, Sid's just gonna say. I'm just gonna get rid of the accent. Sid's just gonna say.
Russian accent.
It
We
is
knew
good
you
for
well.
not this character.
Practice it in the mirror, in the shower.
There's a mirror in the
I don't have a mirror
shower?
in the shower.
Whoa.
Why not, right?
But
Look
if
at
I
yourself
go-
while you're at your best.
It gets foggy.
It
I'm
will
always
steam
at my
up.
best.
That's a very good point. Never
I used to have one
Is
of
there a
those
way to
mirrors.
make it not steam up?
Yeah, I used to have one of those mirrors that it was like a certain type of glass and it had like a button, you'd press it and it kept it from steaming so you could like shave in the shower. But now like I shave like every 3rd day. I just do it without looking. I'm just like, you know.
Like, I just wonder if you could make like a hydrophobic like material that would like repel the water off of it, so it wouldn't steam up like that. Probably.
The future is now.
Yeah.
Invent it, become rich.
Yes. But then don't forget about us. You can keep playing the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have
Get
more
better
time to
move.
play it, if anything.
Well, no, not if you're CEO of a multi-billion-dollar company. Theoretically, you'd be busy. It's only if you're a board member that you have no time
Yeah.
sitting around. All right, so go ahead, guys.
Yeah. Without the accents, it's just gonna be like, yeah, they're usually more active at night for whatever reason. I think it's the 4 eyes. And
Sensory
Sid just,
Definitely the
just
4
does
eyes.
this whenever they mention 4 eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But so if they're picking up activity now, something's off.
They are most likely attempting to transfer all of the goods onto an on-world station.
They're planning to set up an on-world station right here. This base is far enough from the city that we will not be able to reach it, which means it is a very safe location to do vehicle repair and keep more prisoners and all that sort of stuff.
This is not a good thing. I think if we are to deter them from doing this, perhaps we go a bit off book. I think maybe instead of clear out the area for, salvage, perhaps we should explode it entirely.
Can we have... I know they've stripped down this part of the ship before we got here, but can we have a look around to see if we find any explosives?
It's funny, you say that, and they actually, because that was like a conversation last time we were looking through the weapons area, they actually really didn't strip this down. Like, you imagine they probably had like a 2 to 4 man crew, like, run through here and grab up stuff, but it's not like they had a ton of time with a ton of people and a bunch of equipment. They barely stripped this thing down. There's loads of cool stuff here, which is probably why they're looking to do the base here, right? So, yes, you can do that. It'll be time consuming. You know, this is a huge area. It's not like you're checking one room, right? It's half of a cruiser.
True.
But you can try to narrow that search with like a go straight to the armory and check inside there, or make a.
Because last time I asked for the because I was looking for heavy weapons to deal with that fighter.
They said the armory exploded.
Yeah. Does this ship have an onboard computer?
No power though.
Yeah, we are in the unpowered back of the ship.
The other half has the power. So, you certainly can, at least if you wanted to do that, Rick, without wasting a ton of time, you head straight to the armory and more or less just see if a grenade fell off and like rolled into a corner somewhere or something that might have.
Which side of the ship is this?
Back half. So imagine this banana was the ship.
But no, now you're giving us a. See, I would
half.
say the other half of the banana is the back half. See, this is not a very good piece of evidence.
But I ate that side already.
The back half of the banana is the part that still has the banana left on it. The front half is what you've already eaten.
I mean, that's a good point.
Always.
But I was thinking the stem is the top, so that's the front.
I always thought the stem was the top, so.
Yeah.
But he's just.
See? No, that's what I was doing. Oh. That's not what I was doing.
No, it was. Good job, man. I would say that we have engines. Engines.
So you're suggesting that we could use one of the ESO cores, perhaps?
Overload it. Big boom.
Transport it into their side of the ship.
Oh.
Difference is that we're not going to be able to sneak it past at least a dozen people. Possibly
We could
more
drop
now.
it on them.
Then just a turn and look. You are short.
I have a ship.
Right.
Yes,
course
you
you
keep
do.
saying this, that you have ship. It's tall tale.
Evidence is inconclusive.
Tall tale. I said tall. Tall.
It's a tall tale. Hey.
Hey, it's a tall tail and you're short. You get it?
Ah,
It is not there.
Hey,
It is
Oh.
tall tale.
and you're short.
gradually more racist.
I'm Italian. It's okay. I can't be racist.
Go ahead.
Where is this ship?
That's for me to know and you guys to find out.
Yes, exactly. It's
Good luck then.
in
And
head.
Carmine just pretends to walk off.
It's about 2-3 days walk from here.
That is too long.
Except we have a sled.
That is true. We have the
So how fast
Batarian.
with the sled?
I guess.
Icarus will then do the math.
It's actually so
Calculating.
Icarus
Couple hours.
Icarus didn't see the sled moving before, but overheard their communications while he was testing it before, and it is really fast. So that 2-day walk that you guys did to get here, remember this is very, very rough terrain. You guys are carrying a lot of equipment and whatnot, so you're obviously not moving at good speeds. That 2-day trek it took for you to get to this vessel, he was able to get there in about 20 minutes. Because if it's a straight shot, nothing in the way, it's really fast. But it has no maneuverability.
I will point out, while looking at Sid, if you had a way off this inhospitable planet, you would have left.
Yeah, this doesn't seem like the place you want to hang around for funsies.
We got, we had some trouble with the
Lack of ship.
Batarians.
You are telling me you have a damaged ship?
I wouldn't say damaged. Just,
If it was damaged, if it wasn't damaged, you wouldn't be here.
A
Just needs a little
damaged ship
fixing.
could work. We're not planning on going off-world. We're planning on dropping something on another vessel.
Yes,
Just
if
needs
you're gonna try to drop an Ezo core on their bloody position, you're gonna want some working guns on that thing. Otherwise, it's just gonna be unrepairable soon.
But Constantinia is correct. We do not need mass effect travel. We only need air travel.
That is true.
Let's entertain this idea that you actually have this ship. What is wrong with it?
Well, someone might have fired the weapon and blew the power converter when we got shot.
You see,
And then it
Cormac's
crashed.
face palm. He's got some space experience, and he knows that firing a weapon and blowing the ship up is not desirable.
It's an old ship.
That is
I think
not
it's from the
good.
Prometheus.
Right, so you've got an old Prothean ship now.
Well,
The Protheans were never on this planet.
No. Solarians.
same thing.
In fact, no.
No.
I think Sid just looks at the group and is like, look, alien, non-human ship. Don't care who it belongs to. Belongs to me now. Slightly broken though.
Do not state facts if you do not know that they are facts.
I think Sid just like thinks about that for a moment just because of the way it's worded. Do not say
Yeah.
facts if you do not know they are facts.
This how do you say power converter? It sounds important.
Oh, it converts to power.
Yes.
Can you not fly without it?
No.
Well, then why are we having this conversation?
Because there's one in the hangar.
There, I guess then looks down and is like, there is. I was going to say there might be.
It's what I was trying to do last night. It's just a little heavy. I couldn't move it on my own.
Sid is
can
not
easily
wrong.
move this.
We did find broken fighters in there.
Yeah, that is true. And you, looking at Sid in her, like, heavily injured state, are definitely not going to move one of those on your own.
If we can remove a power converter from this ship, as well as the Ezo core, convert the Ezo core into a rudimentary bomb, drop it from the small human ship, it may be a suitable way to deter the Batarian.
So, two things. One, this idea is obviously the idea that you guys are coming up with, hoping that it'll work. Icarus, you would also know that because that ship has power over there, it's very likely their Ezo core is also intact enough to generate the power. It's not, because I know what happened with the fight beforehand up in the sky in our prequel episodes and whatnot. But it doesn't have enough power that even if the ship was together, it could fly. But it has enough now that the Ezo core is running. So any massive explosive could set off that, you know what I mean? So Icarus would know that. Go ahead.
But this is cooler.
Yeah,
I
of
mean,
course.
Karma will probably also
course.
know, but he's only got grenades, and getting close to that with the limited amount of people that we have is not going to be easy.
Yeah,
Alright.
with grenades, it would have to be, like, in it. For it to be
Yeah.
considered a massive explosive.
You'd need some kind of siege weapon, but
Yeah.
then honestly, just a
Trebuchet.
ship cannon would probably do the job because you're shooting from into the inside of a ship, more or less. Anyway, Icarus will take a moment and go. Carmine will search the ship's armory for explosives. Failing that, check the state of the Ezo core. I and Sid will dismantle power converters from ship fighters.
I could do wonders with a heavy weapon against that fighter. Assault rifle is going to be a little tricky. I can make it happen, but I would rather have bigger weapons.
Take a look. Take what you can find. Take all you can carry.
That's the plan, Metal Man.
Perfect.
And then he'll like send an objective ping, like he's the frickin' overlord. And then we'll start. He'll start like walking, and then the sled will start like moving beside him, off to the hangar.
So the Constantinia is still kind of like held up in the area where she's kind of like hunkered down. You can imagine it's much like World War One, World War Two, just sitting in a trench for like over 2 days now.
I think it's a good idea for me to stay there.
Yeah.
And gather information. If you guys want me to go somewhere else, I will.
I didn't give you an order because I think you're doing a fine job now. I understand what you're doing.
So she's like held up in the trench with like the little satellite dish, like ding.
I don't think I can move without like not keeping that signal.
Yeah.
Of what they're doing.
It's because
I'm doing rogue shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More or less what you're doing is because it's not like the signal is like, cool, I've set up this beacon and it's reflecting it for us. Yeah, you're actually actively maintaining that
She
signal.
is the beacon.
Yeah. So, but okay, cool. You guys have a task. Carmine, why don't we start with you because yours is more fun for you. Why don't you roll for me to find some explosives? That's going to be a perception, and then because you're looking around the room is wisdom. This is like a D&D perception check. Searching a room is going to be intelligent. This is like a D&D search check, or newer edition is investigative check. Ooh. You use intelligence, I imagine?
Yeah, because it's a +1.
Yeah,
Does he find mining spikes?
I'm not sure what those are. So
I found a hidden compartment for them.
So you are searching around inside the room, whatnot, getting a little frustrated, like, everything in here is either completely destroyed or melted together, blah, 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 blah. Until finally you go over to like where this huge shelf, it's smashed against a wall, and a whole bunch of shit fell off of the shelf. You know those big metal grate shelves fell forward, everything smashed down, and it's like, grab the thing with like the arm it has the shoulder enhanced by the all the durotanium and stuff, pull the rack off, start pushing shit to the side, and inside there, that's where you actually find like a military style tote or lockbox or like ammo crate. You go over to it and you open it up, and inside you do in fact find it's bits of ammunition, like what are they called, thermal clips. You find 6 thermal clips inside there, which is like, holy shit, that's like treasure. But also, searching through for a little while, you are able to find the total of 6 more grenades. But then you also find explosives, 3 sets of explosives. Unfortunately, these aren't like siege weapons. These are more like I'm taking out a tank kind of weapons. But it's still something.
Okay, so are these like throwable explosive, like dead packs?
The grenades are throwable. These other ones are larger. Technically, you could throw them, but most likely what you do is you'd set it and arm it. Yeah.
So charges, basically.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's good.
Yep. The cool thing about those charges, by the way, is they do have a proximity setter set on them. So you could like set it and more or less you have like a laser tripwire comes off of it. So if somebody comes by, it's like a 3 laser focused tripwire, so it can go this angle, that angle, sort of a thing.
Cool.
Yeah.
I've got 8 grenades on me now. This is getting silly.
Well, let's start handing them out.
I might.
Or not.
Or not.
Yeah.
I can probably use them better.
It'd be funny if you leave them all in your backpack and I hit you with a nice big, a little grenade. And I'm like, well, let's roll to see how many of the other ones go off.
Fireworks.
You know I just make it miss just to spite you.
Not if it's safe. Not if it's save and throw. So, Frank and Ollie, the two of you make your way to the hangar to go and try to find this. Now, Sid had already discovered a functioning power converter before. So it's not even a matter. You can actually find. Sid brings you straight to a very specific fighter, where you can see the power converter has already been exposed there, ready to be taken out, and all the bolts have already been loosened. And there's even been like some like ropes and whatnot set up with like a workshop pulley to try to get the thing working. And unfortunately, the thing has not been removed, but you do see like bloodied handprints on the pulley trying to get the thing up. So looks like Sid's already tried.
I will remove it.
So you just kind of go over and because your strength is what when you're in box mode?
+1 when I'm in box mode.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's not like you can do it easily. It's like get it up, and you can turn, and because you're in box mode, you start making your way over very slowly to where the sled is.
Oh,
and
cool. I didn't have to roll.
Huh?
Cool, I didn't have to roll.
No.
I thought you were doing one big setup.
Nope, you actually didn't, because Sid more or less spent the night beforehand doing a ton of stuff. So to get it over to the
She did all the hard work, really.
Mm-hmm.
It's like opening a jar of pickles.
I mean, Sid's just cheering you on at this point. Just be like, all right, Rasputin, you can do it. Come on, Colossus.
I am neither of those. I am Icarus. Put it down, strap it down.
Yep. Awesome.
And then return and be like, is there anything else your ship requires?
Frank, just as a reminder, you know that your gun does not function.
Yep.
Yeah, Carmine would have definitely asked, like, so someone shot your gun and it exploded the power converter. How's the gun?
How'd the gun fare?
Probably.
Yeah, Carmine would have told you to look for some spare parts for the gun then, and like if you described it to him, he would quickly be able to tell you like, oh yeah, that's a flak emitter battery I think you have.
I mean, I think Sid was just going to look for any gun that they could find.
Yep. So you go over and find more or less. You explain it. Carmine deciphers what it is. Icarus goes and says this one. And you guys go over and grab some parts off of it, throw it into whatever workbox cases to keep all the parts contained. So make sure you have them, and you also strap that onto your sled as well. Cool. You guys get that all done. Rick, you do up there. You find actually some really cool stuff that you're going to throw onto your ship later on and never use again. Nope. And Constantinia, could you do me a favor? Could you roll me another command, intelligence, or wisdom check, please? You could also do but I imagine you're doing command.
That administrator, though.
Muted. Sorry.
No, you're
You
fine.
didn't hear what I said. Sorry. I've got so many snake eyes in this game.
Okay.
Ollie was last time. I rolled 2 last time.
So,
That explains why everyone is dead.
I did my part.
So you roll the continue listening. Unfortunately, everything keeps coming in the same. At one point in time, a fighter, though this ship is. It may be the same fighter that kept flying by overhead. The thing is, they go by kind of fast, so it's hard to tell. It comes over and actually lands near the vessel, so half a kilometer from where you are. Lands near the entrance of the vessel that we had discussed beforehand. Roll me a perception wisdom check. Do you have binoculars? The front half of the big broken cruiser. Do you have binoculars?
The one we are in, right? Not the one they're in.
The one that they are in, not the one that your friends are in.
I think it's a bit weird calling the broken half of a ship a vessel.
Yeah. I was confused.
That might be where the confusion
What do you want me to roll? Perception what?
Perception wisdom, but before you do that, do you have binoculars or anything like that?
No.
Okay, take a -2.
Okay.
You need to buy some binoculars.
It sounds like something I would have, but I didn't.
That also hit me last episode.
This
It's like, yeah, I have a lot of credits and like no gear. I could have easily bought some gear.
Yeah, but
Oh,
this
see,
is D&D,
my
you can just
armor-
buy things at the start.
Was just incredibly expensive.
Oh.
I mean, that was
All I-
broke from the
that's all I
start.
have.
so-
My gun was incredibly expensive.
Okay, cool. So you see the vessel lands. A couple of people get out of it, and then the vessel takes off again and flies away. Unfortunately, you aren't really able to get any more details than what happened just right there. Okay.
I will let everyone know that a few more people have joined that vessel.
They're desolate and won't get any further back up. Carmine just sasses.
Okay. So what's the plan with the crew? Now that, several hours have passed, the greater part of this day has passed, getting the things, tying up on the sled, finding the grenades, the sleeping that you guys did in the morning, etc., etc. Greater portion of the day has passed. The Batarians have had, at this point, I believe, 4 days to get a bunch of work done over on that half of the vessel where they're that half of the broken
like
ship.
2 or 3 days, yeah.
Yeah, it's been 4 in total since it crashed.
Where would the ESO core of the broken ship be relative to how broken the ship is?
You talking about their ship over there? It's actually a super easy question. You guys have schematics, so you can literally pull them up and see where they are.
No, but like where? Like I'm asking you, not like do we know in the game. I'm asking you.
Gotcha. Cool. So, funny enough, the ESO core is actually on this half of the ship.
The ships have 1 core, right?
Correct.
My question, to put it in a way to take all nuance away.
Sure.
Would a fighter be able to shoot at it somehow?
So, ship's broken. Again, keep describing it. Ship's broken. The back half, which is where you are. No, not as like an easy single shot thing. You'd have to get through the hull of the ship first. And even then, if the ESO core is not powered up, it's not going to be explosive.
You said their one was.
They have power over there.
They could have brought in like remote generators or
you
batteries.
said they had like a power base, like we could blow up.
Yes, I did say that.
That's shootable.
You don't know where that's coming from because that's not going to be part of the original schematic.
Oh, because it's like a backup thing they set up.
Yeah, they brought it in.
See that? Okay. Because the question is, do we need to make the ESO core a bomb? Probably.
Well, it has to be actually running to be explodable.
So?
I don't know. I don't have much experience taking an ESO core out of its ship, putting it on another ship, strapping a dead pack to it, tossing it out, and wishing it good luck on the way down.
I don't think you need to tie a dead pack to it. I think you just need to sort of sling it out the ship at it. Like a bowling ball.
Have you ever been bowling? I hit that gutter a lot.
Me too.
Yeah. I'm a granny bowler.
Really?
I'm not surprised.
I'm actually pretty good at bowling. I'm proud to say.
I'm a decent bowler, and I don't believe you, Scott.
Oh, I granny bowl. It's just as a joke, and I'm a terrible bowler because who bowls? It's 2018.
I love bowling.
Bowling is still fun. Bowls is not cool, which is a different sport.
Okay, I'm not sure what that is.
The mini hand ones.
Bowling, the only time I ever have fun while bowling is when it's a team outing at work because we're trying to reward a portion of our team for being successful with their goals. We're like, let's go bowling because there's a bar there. And it's like the one excuse you have to just drink with everybody.
Or a family outing that you have to do.
No.
That you want to
No.
do like a thing for.
By the way, at this point Carmine chimes in because he's remembered something. There's human slaves doing work on that half of the ship. Would we really want to drop a weaponized ESO core on human slaves over there?
Yes.
I suppose not.
Better dead than a slave.
Carmine just stares at you for like a second. Like,
death is suitable to being a slave.
We could also free them.
Ultimately, it comes down to a question of logistics and attrition. They are continuously getting reinforcements from where, I do not know. We are but 4.
I could have taken out a dozen Bitarians. I don't know how many there are now.
We have Stumpy.
We are but 4.
Yeah, I didn't say that in character. It's just like...
They are continuously getting reinforcements. We can destroy their ship and make sure there is never any chance of it continuing. There would be no survivors. There would be nothing. Or you can run and fall at the Batarian ship. I will follow you into a battle if you wish to go into one. It'll be bloody.
It will definitely be bloody. Especially when that fight is still buzzing around.
Just pointing out the facts. You meatbags can decide for yourself.
Okay, so Carmine is obviously the person here saying that's human life. You have Icarus here saying, I understand that and respect that. However, logistically, our chances of success are significantly lower. Sid's like, yeah, if I were a slave, I'd rather be dead. And what does Constantinia think? As a soldier.
Muted.
Mute it. Nope.
It's a different one this time.
It's good now?
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
Alright, I think we are a small group. That can be to our advantage. I feel like we should make progress towards their base, gather what resources we can, perhaps find something we can take up the fighter with. Assuming there is only one, there might be multiple. And progress from there.
I have an idea.
What is your idea?
What if we know where their ship is, where their base is going to be set up.
Mhm.
What if we sneak around it and then attack the logistic vehicles? That will surely trigger some armed response, but not the entire contingent. That way we can thin them out before attacking the powered part of the ship.
That sounds logical.
We have to take out that plane. Whatever it's called.
Fighter.
Got out of game. Fighter. Out of
You're
game.
fine. You're fine.
I could take another shot at its windshield. It's probably been repaired, but
I'm
did
assuming there's
manage
only
to-
one.
There's only one that you recall
Yes.
seeing consistently.
I will tap the sled. We're like, we have a gun. We have a power core.
We have a ship of our own.
We can rig this to shoot.
We cannot safely attack the outlying vessels or the vessel itself without taking out that fighter.
We have a gun.
No, hold on.
Yeah.
You have
Fight.
parts.
I'm
You have
agreeing.
parts of a gun here, though you could theoretically get a whole one. But that doesn't include all of the AI and the targeting systems. And,
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Targeting would be a
I'm
pain. We don't
assuming
have a
is
proper mount
routing
for
it
it.
through me,
Yeah. Again, it's one of those things where that's
giving me the
potentially-
big gun.
Potentially, as a VI, that would be very, very, very limiting. But it is potentially something that could be done. You know what I mean? I'm not going to tell you
We have a
no. You
gun
can always
here,
try.
and I would argue that I wouldn't have taken the guns apart. I don't know how big the sled is or how big the guns are, but I would have tried to take them all in one piece if possible.
That's what I would do too.
Carmine
work
is a
better.
great shot. Nicholas is an AI. Can you not make it work?
I'm a good shot.
Virtual
but
intelligence.
this is pushing it a bit. We don't have a proper mount for it. We don't have the proper targeting for it that normally comes with it. I'm not saying it would be impossible, but it would not be easy.
You would actually be better off taking one of the doing your plan instead of trying to do it with a sled. If you got one of the broken fighters out of the broken
Pushed
hull
it
of the
out?
ship, yeah,
Aimed
pulled
up?
it out. However, yeah, well, and then
And
you
use
could
that as
plug you could
AA.
plug into that because one of those might already have its own power core and everything, and then you can do the targeting there. It just won't be able because they're broken in different ways. They're just not able to fly, but some of them have power. You know what I mean? So that, if you're going for that route, I would say that's a better option than trying to jury rig a gun onto a sled, and that's so much more work.
Yeah,
I'm just trying
would
to
be the
do
world's
what
most
we
powerful
got it
technical,
with
though.
stuff with.
Because it's not like,
But
like
yeah, I would-
I've got gun. Oh, it worked. You know,
Why not?
so many more pieces than just gun.
Really though? Just to
Really?
get it to fire?
Really though,
Not even
Well-
accurately?
really. So many more things
In
involved.
Mass Effect universe, where it is a self-sustaining machine that all works in its own thing, and that's described
I
in the
do
lore, and you
distinctly
talked
recall
about-
Really?
shooting down a Reaper. That was something we did.
Like, I'm okay with not. I agree. I'm just saying, in Mass Effect, that would work.
I mean,
Sure.
like I said,
You're
it's just
right,
going to
and I
be
was
really
suggesting
hard
that as well.
compared
I didn't
to.
say it would be easy. I just said it was I didn't know that was a thing that we could do. That there were more ships that would have been more functional.
Yeah, we talked about that last session. I'm sorry you weren't here for that. So you obviously missed that detail.
Yeah, I'll suggest put. And does this side of the ship not have cannons?
This thing has nowhere near
It's
enough
entirely
power to do
unpowered.
it.
Oh, it had. Oh, it also had fighters as well, so it probably didn't have much in the way of weaponry.
Mm-hmm.
Probably not, yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'd suggest. Here's my brilliant plan. Take a fighter, power or not, put it to sort of the whole side of the ship so it can point out. Get the solar panels from the other sled, if it doesn't have power, to give it enough power that Carmine can get a couple of lucky shots off.
But then we could just grab one that has power and not do the complicated
We
bits.
don't know if one or not has power, and we can check if they have power.
Sid
What if none of
presses
them have
Sid
power?
presses the on button, and one of them lights up.
It's not that hard to check
Is
for
it,
power.
I was assuming there might be a difference between having enough power to light up and having enough power to shoot.
You
I'm sorry, I guess I'm wrong.
No. You are completely correct. There are about 4 fighters in there that are worth noting. And they're, like I said, in different degrees of broken. One of them, Sid's like, this is the best looking power core. We're just going to take this one right here, power, whatever, regulator. We're just going to take this one here and did that. So that one is now non-functioning. As for the other 3 that are worth noting, you can imagine one of them is like, yeah, this thing turns on, but even the consoles are flickering. It doesn't have anywhere enough power. Another one's like, oh, the gun is completely smashed up from the way that everything got thrown around in here from the crash landing. And like another one's like, it's got power, it's got guns, but it ain't flying because the wings broke off. You know what I mean?
It only needs to work for a couple shots.
Yeah, we push that one to somewhere where it can shoot.
Mm-hmm. So, the issue is getting it out of the hangar, so you can, because you can't really strap that to the sled, right? Oh, well, you can't throw it onto
Just
the
get
sled.
behind it and push.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
It's literally my job.
Yep. So you're gonna have Icarus get behind the thing and push. You're gonna have the sled with some cable and whatnot attached to this thing, trying to pull. You know what I mean? But the thing is, like, the sled's not designed to have like traction. It's designed to put something on it, which now has effectively 0 weight, so it doesn't have like a lot of like pull to it. But hey, machine pulling is better than person pulling. And everybody else kind of do their part. Are we still leaving Constantinia where she is?
She has to watch it.
Okay. Because she is still just over 1.5 kilometers from you guys.
Has Constantini had any sleep?
She did before.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I slept outside.
She's also like a Turian battle bitch. She'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think Sid's just a little worried because it's the first friendly alien that they've ever met.
It came up last session. I can't remember if it was just like me responding to Scott or you guys, but I've been through worse. Was the response I gave.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure that was, you mentioned that last session, yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So, awesome. So, you guys are pulling the ship out, doing everything you can to get it out of there. Do me a favor. Roll me exert strength checks for the 3 of you. Sid, don't forget you're rolling at -1.
Yep, because I'm pretty much dead.
Yeah. Almost DED.
Could
guys
I
are
tell
rolling
what
awesome.
weaponry's on the fighter, by the way?
Yeah, I don't have skill in exert.
Strangely, Sid's the most effective.
I don't have that either, surprisingly enough.
So I'll get to you 1 second, Rick. So you guys are rolling for your exert. You are eventually able to get the thing out. It's not like anybody critical failed here, but you struggle really, really hard. It takes a long time. You eventually get like caught up in some area where you're trying to get it pushed out. You have to get stuff moved out of the way. You eventually get another piece of equipment that's inside there, literally like a driving piece of equipment, to drive behind it and start pushing and scraping it out as well. It's this long and arduous process, but you are eventually successful. When you finally get the thing out, once again, nighttime is already rolled around again, and with nighttime rolling around, Constantinia can easily tell the activity over on that ship next door has greatly increased. As for you, Rick, who asked your question?
Yeah, I would like to know what kind of weaponry is on the fighter.
Of course.
I'm expecting it to be a multifocal laser or like the Mass Effect equivalent.
1 second. So yeah, it is effectively that. So No. So it's not going to be a laser. Lasers are very unusual technology for all of the Citadel races. So it's actually going to be. I don't remember what I renamed it, but it's actually going to be what they call the Reaper battery. It's clumsy.
Oh,
Yeah. That's what they call it in Stars Outnumber. I can't remember what I named it in the Mass Effect thing. So it's a 3d4 damage one, and its quality is clumsy.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah. You could, if you wanted to, because there is the sand thrower equivalent on a different one, you could kind of like dismount the sand thrower off another one and put it onto here. That would add more time to it to do that. However,
I would highly suggest that.
It technically does 1d4 less damage, and it loses the clumsy feature for the flak feature. Clumsy. Either through slow discharge time or unwieldy engineering requirements, this weapon suffers a -4 to hit small fighter class holes. So it's not like one of those things where it would really matter for this fight. Because you're shooting a still huge target. It's like the broadside of a barn.
Yeah, but we're not moving. We're sitting. We're firing from like an idle position. Like, I would suggest it to the crew. Like having like the sand thrower weapon would be a lot easier.
Sand thrower is designed for fighting small fighters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ikelis will point out, why are there different ships on different weapons on different fighters? That seems inefficient design.
You can also tell that these ships themselves are kind of hodgepodge because you're dealing with Batarians, not
He's
like
still sassing it.
Sure.
Carmine will lengthily tell you that there's different weapons for different targets, and just like explain all of that and why you would use a Reaper battery against like capital ships and just like.
Ikelis listens to all of it, and then when you finish, he goes, "Why can't everyone get along?"
And with that, we take our first break.
People.
We take our first break.
They took our gerbs. We're gonna build a wall around them, just like the Gators.
Throw a gator at him.
Trying to ruin my one-liner.
5 minutes. Bye-bye.